my baseball team always wore pants like that. We call them sweet legs.
Sweet legs.
There's a chair here if anybody wants to come in close and have a seat.
Yeah, Mr. Bates.
All right, so a couple of key things. Do we ever have to work on shoulders at all?
Never.
That doesn't really happen. Okay, so you have a couple of options that can
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
What do we first usually do? Range of motion kind of assessment, right?
Probably wanna.
So I don't think that's going to have this, but one of the things you can do is you can interlock both of your hands behind your head, just let your hands drop out to the side. This is kind of my basic check for pec tightness right here, right? It's a simple way to get both limbs in. Oftentimes you find people are kind of stuck up a little bit higher right here, so that's a basic right there. Don't get your hands back down. And you can go ahead and start and just, palpate the tissue, work your way through and see what you think is going on in this area. We're going to stay away from into the scaling stuff. I'm going to show you some videos after lunch, so we'll see the specifics there. We are going to spend, after lunch, is all going to be spent right here, okay? But right here to start with, a couple of options that you might have to open up the front of the chest is going to be some simple strokes like this, where you're just going to take the wider part of a blade, and again, it's always going to be a kind of a guess for what fits best for the patient, right? Like what is going to be the right shape for that person that you're actually working on. But even some simple strokes like this you can work through with, or one of the things that I prefer to do, and I can tell it's going to be a good fit for him, let your patient know ahead of time, I'm going to support your arm with my legs, and so basically we're going to run through like this, and you can kind of grip more into the forearm, use your vastus medialis so it's a little bit softer. If you have bony knees, don't do one of these things where you're gripping in like that, okay? So use the muscles of your legs to do this. And from here, I can actually control his limb, and I can choose whichever stroke I want to do and kind of run through like that. And you can feel right away the grizzle that we get into right there, right? Okay? So that'll be kind of a motion that you can follow with. Reversing the other way, same kind of thing. So you can follow through like that, all right? So that'll be a basic. Or if you wanted to, and it fits the person better, again, you guys are getting the skill set to get better at this. This grip right here, taking the softer edge and doing the same thing where you can go ahead and push through. I could even take the limb if I wanted and let his arm drop back if you'd like as well, because there's going to be one hand this way. So all of that is available. Okay, so that's going to be a basic starting point right there. Next thing you can do is you can decide, you know what, I want to spend some time with your subclavius into your clavicle right here. So look at that beautiful shape right there. What is that perfect for? This is perfect for working through the pec, actually hooking up and underneath, like right into there, and lifting up into this area right here. Okay? Right? Oh, subclavius, what the heck is that? Okay? So follow yourself all the way around, all the way down that clavicle right there, okay?
Are you using the back side?
I'm using this edge right here, actually hooking in around, which can be, like you can get in there with your thumb, but you can feel the difference. If I get in there with my thumb or try and hook in with my fingers, you're only going to be able to get so far, but these kind of setups right here, you can get ultra specific right up and in and get stimulation of the tissue that you can't reach with your hands, okay? So that'll be a movement right there. All right, I always debate showing this one to people, but I like it. It's one that I use, so I think it's a winner. So Matt, I'm going to have you come to this edge of the table, right to the very edge here. You have to watch yourself when you do this one, but what I'm actually going to be doing is fading into a subscapularis. Now, what are most of us doing? We're probably doing something like this, right? Yeah, you're probably going in like this, thumb is coming in, I'm gonna work in, or yeah, fingers if you can, coming in like this, or pec minor, you're gonna fade way up and underneath like this to try and find your way in there, right? Okay, so for an option, you can go ahead and do this. What I am doing is taking the softest edge of this right here, I'm gonna put it against the edge of my thigh, and I'm gonna use that to generate force, and I'm just gonna do micro movements with my hand over top here, okay? So what we can do is we can find the rib cage, my balance points here. Ideally, I'd like to actually have them higher on the table like this, where I could be a little bit closer to my hip, but for the purpose of what we have here, this is fine. Yeah, keep breathing, nice breaths. You can follow them right up to right about there. Okay, so you can see where my hand is, my force is being generated from my legs, my hand is in position there, and then I have the option to take them through a little bit of range. Pin and stretch and move, right? And totally, you could take them into internal external rotation, whatever you want. So you can stay there, or you can come up anteriorly and go the opposite side on the rib cage, all the way up. And you can see how deep that is. Like we're that deep up and underneath. It's too much. Let me know. No, I'm going up for pec minor. Yeah. So right into there, and the same thing. Let that scapula drop back.
Yeah, nice.
taken through ranges like that. And again, for me, I don't really have to do that much work because the force is really coming from my legs generating the power, micro movements with my hands to do it, okay? Other variation around the shoulder is going to be, now if I can get you to lay on your side facing that direction. He can be like this hand can be all the way up and over top of the table. Now I have access all the way from his tricep, all the way down to lat right there, right? And it's because I don't want to give you a tool burn here. You're going to be doing the same kind of setup. Just working your way through just to start. All right, so from here, a couple of options you have. Number one, on my table in our US clinic, I actually have a thing that the person can grab onto, so they actually get a little bit more stretch out of it and slide them down. But you can just leave them up like this. One of my faves, especially for our bodybuilders, I got one guy especially right now, Terry's minor is a big issue for him, so you start off with what stroke to begin with? Discovery stroke, looking for areas of tightness, and when you find that area that you want to work on, you're actually pretty relaxed, man. It's pretty good. Maybe a little bit actually through your triceps right there. Okay, but anyways, for this other guy, for Terry's major, what do I wind up doing? I just wind up switching over to this point right here, where I used to actually spend my thumb time and work in like this. It's going to simply just be that edge right there, and then just working your way through into the tissue like that. Or, if the shape of the person is right again, play around with it. It's going to be this setup again that we used on the forearm already, where you can take and do this stroke all the way up, and you want to work a little bit more, just bring a little bit more of that thumb edge in, and all of this is available to you. Right? So this is a basic setup. I've shown you 3 different variations right here. It's up to you guys to kinesthetically put it into your body and experiment and see what works. Hit her pattern? Let's get at her. Okay?